बहार, तू क्यों है बेकरार, बता क्यों है बेकरार, तू क्यों है बेकरार, बता क्यों है बेकरार, है अंधली बेजार। इस गुलसितां को देख, उस बाग़बां को देख, इस गुलसितां को देख, तू मुझको देख और गमे दो जहां को देख, तू मुझको देख और गमे।
जैसा आपने अपने वीडियो बाइट में भी कहा कि जब इतनी बड़ी मौसीकी का उत्सव हो रहा है तो हाउ कैन तलत महमूद बी लेफ्ट बिहाइंड, एंड सो ट्रू। तलत जी की बर्थ सेंटेनरी आज से 2 साल पहले आई थी और उस मौके पर सहर जी, जो खुद एक रिनाउंड जर्नलिस्ट हैं एंड ऑथर हैं, उन्होंने, शी इज़ द ग्रैंड नीस ऑफ तलत जी, तो उन्होंने ये बुक द डेफिनेटिव बायोग्राफी रिलीज की थी, एंड शी इज़ बीन टेकिंग दिस बुक ऑल ओवर द कंट्री ऑन हर ओन इनिशिएटिव। वी वर वेरी कीन टू हैव हर अर्लियर इन द क्लब, पर शायद संयोग बनना था कि आप इसी उत्सव में आते। So, what inspired you to come up with the concept of this book and put up this? Talat Mahmood needs no introduction or things otherwise, and हमारे जो यहाँ सुनने वाले लोग हैं वो तो बहुत भली भांति उनके गाने जानते हैं, सुने हुए हैं, but again it is something for the new generation to read and understand. So what prompted you to come up with this idea of putting up a book on an artist जिनके 100 साल भी से ऊपर पूरे हो गए हैं?
जी, Rohit ji, first of all, thank you so much for having me and remembering Talat Nana, remembering Talat Mahmood, because of course, like you said, that he needs no introduction, but at the same time, when we talk about youngsters, he needs an introduction. So, part of the answer lies in your question on
Right.
what prompted me to write the centenary. जब उनकी जन्म शताब्दी हुई 2024 में, I calculated, you know, somehow 25 years being in television news, doing breaking news every day, speaking to politicians, knowing about timing. दिनेश त्रिवेदी जी यहाँ पे हैं, इनसे भी अक्सर मैंने बात की है from my news studio. You get used to thinking of issues in terms of timing, in terms of breaking news as well. तो मुझे ख्याल आया 2024 तलत महमूद के लिए ब्रेकिंग न्यूज़ होगी because that's his centenary year. So I'm glad that thought came to me in the year 2022 to start writing, to make sure that the biography is ready in 2 years' time, because even though people presume that I'm in his family, I'm so close to him, and I know everything, but it's impossible. It is an iconic life. And he has, through the course of this evening, we'll realize that he did so many things which were pioneering, which went beyond just being a singer, where he looked at the larger good for an artist. And that required a lot of research. So my approach towards the book was very journalistic, you know, doing research, stitching the timeline together, fact-checking. There was so much fact-checking to do, because so much is known and some becomes folklore, some becomes a rumor. In fact, I used to fact-check my family stories as well. I would speak to my mom. I would say, अम्मी ये शायद 1955 की कहानी नहीं है, इसका जिक्र हम 1956 में करेंगे, because that is how the timeline sits, you know. And this is probably, you are wrong by a year and I have to correct you. So I was just fact-checking so much and stringing the story together. And it took 2 years.
It does take time. I can just interject here and say that I wrote a book on my grandfather 30 years ago.
Wonderful.
I was 21 that time. And it did take time. It took over a year, and the fact-checking is the most crucial part, because once we think that we probably know everything about him or them or her, we really don't know much.
Enough, yeah.
Not enough.
And also looking at the timeline on which his life sits, you know, because there's so much history. Born before independence, born to a family which was culturally alive and involved in the freedom struggle, the fight for independence. His father, my great granddad, Mr. Manzoor Mahmood, Talat Nana's father, he was involved in the freedom struggle and having meetings with Pandit Ji and the other leaders. Growing up in that atmosphere and then going through partition, every family is affected by partition, then going through independence. And then when you have a new nation, you become a pillar of establishing wherever you were. So he was a pillar in establishing golden era film music. He was, I would say, post-independent India, he was literally the founder of our ghazal music industry across Asia. His life was also sitting on a very interesting timeline, you know. And then the evolution of music, stereo sound came in, and how he adapted to new technology. Times changed, how he did global tours, and all of this I thought was very important for our youngsters.
So
to
we'll talk on
revisit.
all of these aspects one by one. But before we get into the music side of Talatji, let's see a small intro video about your book that you have written.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah.
और जैसा आप कह रहे थे कि he was at the cusp of such a period that pre-independence and post-independence,
Yes.
evolution and changing face of music in Hindi cinema.
Right.
There was a full new breed of music composers coming up. We were probably moving out of the old composers like Bulosi Rani or Saraswati Devi and entering into Naushad and Shankar Jaikishan, C. Ramchandra, S.D. Burman, and Talatji has worked with all of them.
Yeah.
So, and the book that you have written probably covers all of this aptly.
Yes.
So how complex was it to bring all this together for you?
Very challenging, but made easy through my journalistic training. I just have to keep going back to that, because otherwise it would have been a very intimidating and daunting task, you know.
Right.
Because research came easy to me, putting a story together came easy to me, fact checking came easy, storytelling came easy to me with so many years of working in the news, and most importantly, making it readable for the youngsters, because I deal with a young audience and viewership in television. My language is very chatty and spoken. So that's exactly how I decided to write the book as well. I didn't want anyone picking up the book, reading and feeling that we're dealing with a very heavy chapter on history. So it's not a history book. And I realized this, I managed to succeed in that endeavor when I had young journalists from the digital medium reading the book to review it, and then interviewing me, and then saying that it was readable, they could relate to the story. And I broke down the story into, if you see the book, it's available here and you can go through it and enjoy it. It has multiple sub chapters. It's full of sub chapters. So each chapter is about 6 to 10 pages.
Right.
And it weaves in and out, and you can weave in and out of it anytime. And each chapter reads independently and still flows like a story. At this point, as you saw this capsule, I also want to thank people who supported me. As you saw those placards, the book has forewords from different generation and professionals from different walks of life. There's Dr. Shashi Tharoor, there's Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji, there is Sonu Nigam, who all came forward, especially wrote forewords to support the book and to just appreciate that this book is coming out at such a time, you know.
जी बिल्कुल. एंड तलत जी की वॉइस ऐसी एजलेस है. देखिए कई बार क्या होता है, ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम every singer has a changing voice. So while we listen to their songs, we can probably relate to the period in which they would have sung that song.
Yes.
But when it comes to Talat Mahmood ji, it is very difficult to analyze very intensely as to which period this song would belong to. And as we listen to all his songs today, I'll be sharing the details with you, but unless that is shared, probably आप नहीं बता पाएंगे ये इन्होंने किस समय शायद गाया होगा. अर्ली 50s है या अर्ली 60s है या फिर लेट 60s का गाना है, क्योंकि ये सब उन्होंने लगभग उनकी आवाज़ का टेक्सचर, जिसे सिल्कन वॉइस ऑफ सिंगिंग कहते हैं जो उनकी थी
जी।
वो वैसा हमने पाया है। तो चलिए एक गाने से आज के कार्यक्रम की
Wonderful.
का आगाज करते हैं। ये गाना हम ले रहे हैं फिल्म अनहोनी से। Was born in Lucknow, but then he traveled to pursue his passion, and from Lucknow he came to Calcutta.
Yes.
And how did that journey happen? And initially जैसे यहाँ पर उन्होंने बंगाली गाने गाए by the name of Tapan Kumar.
Yes.
So ये किस्सा क्या है? And how was he? What proximity did he share with Pankaj Malik ji?
Very close. In fact, as far as his Kolkata chapter in life goes, Pankaj Malik Saab was his godfather here.
Okay.
And so he was a Lucknow boy studying in Lucknow, and he decided कि मुझे अब आगे पढ़ाई नहीं करनी है. And his father was very upset कि ये कैसे हो सकता है that you have to finish your education और हमारे खानदान में ऐसा नहीं होता है कि पढ़ाई बीच में छोड़ दे. Just to bring some perspective, this is in the 1940s when he was ready to go to college and he decided कि नहीं पढ़ाई करनी है. And उसी वक्त एक नया म्यूजिक स्कूल खुला था in the neighborhood where he stayed, the Maris Music College, which is today called Bhatkhande Vishwavidyalaya, the Bhatkhande University. So he told his father कि ठीक है अगर मैं पढ़ाई करना जरूरी है तो I might as well study music for my graduation. So he was studying there, and he was already a star student because उन्होंने AIR लखनऊ में गज़लें गाना शुरू की थी. मीर तकी मीर गालिब की गज़लें वो गाते थे, and तो उनकी आवाज़ was known to people. So there is this star student जो भाटखंडे Maris College में पढ़ाई कर रहा है. And उस वक्त के टाइम early 1940s में, now it is a very common term, campus recruitment.
Right.
So HMV from Kolkata, because this is where our music industry, entertainment industry was, they came to his college in Lucknow for campus recruitment, and they were told that you must take Talat because he's our star student. तो वो एक recording करने एक गजल गाने यहाँ पे आए दमदम स्टूडियो में.
Okay.
इन दमदम स्टूडियो ही डिड हिज रिकॉर्डिंग, और फिर वहाँ साथ में स्टूडियो ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो में पंकज मलिक साहब बैठे हुए थे. एंड ही सेड तुम्हारी आवाज़ तो बहुत अच्छी है, तुम यहाँ रुक जाओ और गाना शुरू कर लो. सो एंड देन देयर वाज दिस फियर ऑफ हिज फादर कि भाई मैं पढ़ाई नहीं छोड़ सकता, बिकॉज ही वाज इन हिज सेकंड ईयर. And he said 2 साल की पढ़ाई और बाकी है and I have to finish it. So I'm going to go back to Lucknow, and after I finish and get my graduation degree, मैं आपसे 2 साल बाद मिलूंगा वापस आके.
Okay. Okay.
So he said, अच्छा ठीक है, you're very confident that I'm going to remember 2 years later. He said, नहीं, I have to finish my studies और मैं 2 साल बाद फिर आऊँगा आपसे मिलने. So 2 years after that he met and he said, ठीक है, अब तुम एक गज़ल रिकॉर्ड करो. And that's when he recorded तस्वीर.
तेरी दिल मेरा
तस्वीर तेरी दिल मेरा बहला न सकेगी. So he recorded that, and it was such a hit. It was a mega hit. उस वक्त का yardstick when this ghazal released in 1944, उस time का yardstick for a hit was selling 300 copies.
Okay.
And तस्वीर sold 1 lakh copies. So it was like an unheard success. And then Pankaj Malik साहब said कि अब तुम्हारी गाड़ी चल पड़ी है और तुम कोलकाता में ही रह रहे हो, तो you might as well start singing Bengali songs as well. So he said, how do I manage that? Because मेरी ज़िंदगी भर की ट्रेनिंग उर्दू में है, गज़लों में है, उर्दू पोइट्री समझने में है. I don't know Bengali. So he said, कोई बात नहीं, हमारे जो म्यूज़िक डायरेक्टर हैं कमल दास गुप्ता, वो तुम्हारी मदद करेंगे सारे तुम्हारे प्रोनाउंसिएशंस में और समझने में. तो फिर उन्होंने फिर सिरे से बंगाली सीखा, एंड पंकज मलिक गेव हिम द नेम तपन कुरवार.
Okay.
He said कि जहाँ तक उर्दू गाने गा रहे हो, गजलें गा रहे हो, you do it in the name of Talat Mahmood. मगर बंगाली के लिए तपन कुमार is your name that is more suitable.
Right.
that's
So all
the
his
story.
Bengali songs that time were released under the name of Tapan Kumar.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So तस्वीर तेरी दिल मेरा बहला न सकेगी.
Oh, wonderful. There was a music singing competition in school, and people were singing, students were singing ghazals of that time. You had people singing Jagjit Singh, the students were singing Pankaj Udas Saab. So my mom said कि आपके घर में इतने बड़े गजल गायक बैठे हैं, आप इन्हीं का गाना गाएंगे. I said I don't want to sing such an ancient song. Everyone's going to be laughing. No one's heard of Tasveer. मैं क्या गाऊँ उस तस्वीर करके? She said, she put her foot down and she said you have to sing Telangana's song. So I sang that very reluctantly. And then I won the first prize in school for that.
Wow.
So I say that it was that his lucky charm, and decades later, Tasveer became my lucky charm as well.
How lovely. ये लिखा हुआ तो वैसे फैयाज हाशमी जी का है, but I have a small question for you, and this will fill one blank in my collection of information that I do. I don't know the music composer of this song. Do you know the music composer of this song?
Is
Because
it not Kamal Das Gupta?
I am not sure because it is not available anywhere as far as any Wikipedia or YouTube or anywhere is
No,
concerned.
it is Kamal Das Gupta.
Okay,
Yes.
so it could be because that time
Yeah.
Kamalji was doing a lot of compositions that time and private albums उन्होंने उस समय बहुत किए थे.
True,
But
yeah.
ये
क्योंकि
information
तस्वीर जब कमल दास गुप्ता जी के साथ हिट हुई, तब पंकज मलिक साहब ने बोला अब कमल ही तुम्हारे बंगाली गाने में भी मदद करेंगे.
so very likely कि उन्हीं का ही
Yeah.
रहेगा. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं to a more interesting side of his music career, which was obviously in Bombay, and then he came here and early 50s में तो जितने गाने थे, तलत जी ruled the early 50s of Hindi cinema music, a very very important benchmark of celebrated music in those days. 1952 में जब बिना का गीत माला की शुरुआत हुई थी, तो एक मापदंड बन गया था कि इस पर जो गीत बजेंगे वही मशहूर हैं लोगों की नजर में.
That's when his second godfather, Anil Biswas Da. Anil Biswas ji, who is also what I mentioned in my book as this very tall leader, the Bhishma Pitama of the music industry, because he kind of created this concept of Mukhra Antara, and he used to use large 20 orchestra pieces for his compositions, and he broke away from just a makeshift harmonium tabla, and he put in a lot of orchestra and like an operatic style, which is maybe that's why he liked his vibrato as well.
Many singers of that era owe their
Yes.
success to Anil Biswas ji.
Absolutely, yeah. And he said कि हम तुम्हारा vibrato जो है उसको एक USP बनाएंगे. So in much more detail, there's a complete incident in my book about how he met him and how he convinced him कि vibrato का इस्तेमाल करेंगे. And the first meeting was also very funny here. Telangana was not taking his calls. He got into depression because every music director was refusing him there. So अनिल विश्वास जाने का आप मेरा कॉल नहीं ले रहे, आप स्टार बनने से पहले स्टार बन गए. But you read that in the book much more in detail. It's a very funny incident because he said ये तो इतना खूबसूरत नौजवान है. Anil Das said कि ये कौन लड़का है इतना खूबसूरत नौजवान है, तुम जरूर एक्टिंग करने आए होगे यहाँ पे, गाना तो नहीं गाओगे तुम. So there's a lot more to that in the book. But yes, to answer your question, it was Anil
अनिल
Biswas.
विश्वास जी.
Yes.
हाँ, तो तलत जी की खूबसूरती के चर्चे बाद में करेंगे. अभी अनिल विश्वास जी का एक गाना तराना फिल्म से.
Wonderful.
सीने सुलगते हैं, आँखों में उदासी छाई, ये यादें दुनिया से हमें तकदीर आई, सीने सुलगते हैं।
ये बॉन्डिंग क्या रहा तलत जी और दिलीप साहब का? आई एम श्योर ऐसे गाने बनाते वक्त ये आपस में कई बार मिले होंगे, आपस में गानों की सिटिंग चर्चा की होगी. हाउ डिड दीज सॉन्ग्स शेप अप?
एक्सक्यूज मी. वेल, जैसे आपने कहा कि दिलीप कुमार साहब का जो ट्रेजेडी किंग का फेज है
जी,
that is incomplete without Talat Mahmood's voice, because it was so suited to his soft style on screen, and many people felt like, especially when he sang Devdas, especially when he sang Mithwa in
Yeah.
Devdas, Talat Nana said that the biggest compliment for him in his life was during that time कि लोगों को लगा कि दिलीप कुमार ही गा रहे हैं, you know. बहुत उनकी पर्सनालिटीज मैच करती थी. They were both appreciative of deep poetry, Urdu literature, and they were great friends. They were lifelong friends, much beyond the professional partnership, right till the 1980s, you know.
हम उम्र भी थे.
हम उम्र भी थे बिल्कुल. और in fact, during writing the book, I spoke to Dilip Kumar, Yusuf Saab's wife, Saira Banerjee, and she was so respectful of that friendship. I remember when I was writing the book, और एक हमारा holy day आया था, I think शब बारात का time था, and she called me up and she said, मुझे बताओ कि तलत साहब के खानदान में और कौन कौन लोग थे. मैं नमाज पढ़ रही हूँ, दुआ मांग रही हूँ, और मैं उन सब के लिए भी दुआ मांगना चाहती हूँ. So it was a very close and special friendship, and it worked. It suited the tragedy king persona
Completely.
Yeah.
This we will see in the next few songs of Dilip Saab.
जी.
जो
और उनके जो दिलीप कुमार साहब के जो पेपी सॉन्ग्स भी थे, रोमांटिक नंबर्स, पेपी सॉन्ग्स, उसमें भी सूटेबल था.
बिल्कुल.
So it just worked into a beautiful professional association as well as a friendship, and I have dedicated one whole chapter to their friendship and partnership in the book.
Oh, nice. How
Yes.
दिलीप कुमार के ही ज्यादा गाने गाए तलत महमूद जी ने, एंड इन इक्वल कंपैरिजन एंड पैरेलल देव साहब के भी गाने उन्होंने गाए. एंड जैसा मैंने पहले जिक्र किया, बिना का गीतमाला में इनके गाने हरदम ऊपर में बजते थे, और 1954 में टॉप पर भी बजा, एंड दैट वाज अ देवानंद सॉन्ग फ्रॉम द फिल्म टैक्सी ड्राइवर व्हिच वाज रिलीज्ड इन 1954, जाएं तो जाएं कहाँ. नॉट ओनली दैट, पतिता के गाने जो थे शंकर जयकिशन के संगीत में,
है सबसे मधुर
वो गीत जिन्हें हम दर्द के सुर में गाते हैं.
In fact, this was his personal favorite. A lot of times in his live concerts, he started with है सबसे मधुर
these songs. और आगे जाकर एक फिल्म बनी थी रूप की रानी चोरों का राजा, वहीदा जी के साथ 1962 में आई थी शायद ये फिल्म. And तुम तो दिल के तार छेड़ कर.
That is a peppy number.
So peppy and so lively.
So that's what I keep telling people. आप तलत महमूद को लोग बहुत typecast कर लेते हैं into the blue mood.
बिल्कुल.
So,
ऐसी बात नहीं है. पेपी तो अनेकों हैं, आज भी सुनेंगे हम इनके कुछ और पेपी सॉन्ग्स. But जाएं तो जाएं कहाँ has always been a statement song as far as we know. And अब इस गाने को लता जी ने भी गाया, लेकिन चला तलत जी वाला वर्जन और पिनाका गीत माला के टॉप पर भी जो बजा वो तलत जी का वर्जन ही था.
Right. To the press about it and finding partners and sponsors. So that kind of became headlines. In a lot of articles, people said Talat Mahmood is Bombay Nana. So
Right.
I never thought a family thing would kind of
Correct.
come out in this way.
So everyone has seen Talat ji's pic over here. हम जब यहाँ आ रहे थे, यहाँ संगीता भाभी देखी ये सब सजते हुए तो बोले what a handsome personality. इन्हें तो एक्टर होना चाहिए था. तो मैंने इन्हें कहा कि एक्टर थे, एंड शी सेड ये एक्टर भी थे. So that is another side of Talat Mahmood which probably very few of us sitting here would know. He has acted in 16 films in Hindi cinema. Some of them were quite popular too, and definitely musically popular तो था ही. जो इंट्रो वीडियो आपने देखा, रात में क्या क्या ख्वाब दिखाए, एक गांव की गोरी फिल्म का गाना था ये. Multiple films that he has acted in. How did he get into that acting and then singing alongside?
Yes, in fact, he. So इनके साथ उल्टा किस्सा था, because people come to Bombay with the idea कि हम फिल्म में हीरो बनेंगे. सबसे पहली बात इनको लोगों का यही डिजायर होता है कि फिल्म में हीरो बनेंगे. कैरेक्टर आर्टिस्ट नहीं, कोरस नहीं, डायरेक्टर नहीं, प्रोड्यूसर नहीं, सीधा इनको स्क्रीन कैमरा के सामने हीरो बनना होता है. But Bombay Nana was an established singer, and producers and film directors realized कि तलत की female following बहुत strong है. And when he takes pictures for album covers and all, he photographs very well. So they said, तुम acting शुरू करो, you have such a big female following, कई actors से ज़्यादा तुम्हारी female following है, why don't you start acting? So he said, मेरी तो पूरी तैयारी singing में है, and I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, I'm not interested only. तो उनको बाकायदा हाथ पकड़ के सामने लाया गया that you must act, you must try this out. So उनकी पहली फिल्म का नाम था दिले नादान, एंड उसमें न्यूज़पेपर में अनाउंसमेंट हुआ था, लाइक जैसे फेमिना का अनाउंसमेंट होता है न्यूज़पेपर, यू फिल अप अ फॉर्म टू पार्टिसिपेट इन फेमिना. तो इसमें इनका अनाउंसमेंट हुआ दैट यू फिल अप द फॉर्म टू बिकम तलत's फर्स्ट को स्टार. So श्यामा जी के साथ ये पहली फिल्म थी इनकी, with Peace Kamal as well.
Right. That was her first film.
Yes, that was her पहली film. Yeah. So they signed up for that, and then they won the contest, and then they were co-stars of Talat Mahmood. The film didn't do very well, but the songs, of course, were huge hits, and people noticed him on camera. Right. So I remember when I was researching the book, writing, and I was watching all these films. And you can see the hesitation that he has in the body language. He's very shy and very closed in and kind of not really directly looking into the camera. But that was Dile Nadan. By the time he graduated to coming to Sone Ki Chidiya and acting with Nutan Ji, in which he played a part negative character as well, he became very comfortable.
That was his last film.
That was also his last film because schedules were getting very stretched,
Right.
आप जब गायक होते हैं तो आप सुबह उठते हैं, रियाज करते हैं, और एक्टर जो है वो लेट नाइट तक फिल्म प्रोडक्शन शूट्स चलते रहते हैं. सो हिज डेज वर गेटिंग वेरी स्ट्रेच्ड, एंड ही सेड माय कॉलिंग इज सिंगिंग, सो आई विल हैव टू चूज बिटवीन द टू. सो दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंड.
He made the right choice. जब हमने सब गाने छांटे निकाले, and amongst his peppy songs we were looking up, by a strange coincidence some of his most popular songs and the peppy numbers turned out to be songs of Sunil Dutt.
Yes, of course.
इतना ना मुझसे तू प्यार बढ़ा, जैसे छाया फिल्म से है ये गाना, या आहा रिमझिम के ये प्यारे प्यारे गीत लिए, and probably his landmark song जलते हैं जिसके लिए.
I know.
तो ये and again his voice suited Sunil Dutt perfectly well.
Yes.
So how was that collaboration and how did that happen?
I think it started, of course, essentially, I would say, with Jalte Hain Jiske Liye, because it became so iconic,
Right.
and people wanted to see that face and voice together. And there is a whole story behind Jalte Hain Jiske Liye, which is mentioned as, once again, because I gave a separate chapter to this entire song, because the whole process of how S.D. Burman, Sachinda decided to select his voice, what was that process, and how the pitch of the song continues to rise as the song progresses.
Correct.
With respect to the outburst of emotions for Nutanji's character. It was just so iconic. It was also his first Filmfare nomination. And it was a film that was screened at Cannes, at the Cannes Film Festival.
Sujata.
And Sujata, yes. And it was screened there to a largely, of course, European audience. But when it was screened there was absolutely pin drop silence when the song played.
टेलीफोन पर एक पूरा गाना, ये भी एक चैलेंज
Yes.
रहा होगा.
And that was a deciding factor कि आप उस वक्त की आवाज़ों में से कौन सी ऐसी आवाज़ है जो टेलीफोन पे like a whisper, like a caressing whisper sound करेगी, you know, that was a deciding factor for Sachinda. And so I guess that's what it was, because it became such an iconic collaboration that people wanted to see the
More of
face
the
with the
combination.
voice all the time.
Correct.
Again, yeah.
Right. And I think then the next other two songs just came successfully year after year.
Yes.
So let's
Yes.
listen to these three iconic songs of Talat Mahmood and Sunil Dutt.
Yes.
जलते हैं जिसके लिए, जलते हैं जिसके लिए, आँखों के दिए तुझे लाया हूँ ये गीत मैं तेरे लिए, जलते हैं जिसके लिए.
मैक्सिमम गाने एज अ डुएट तो तलत जी के साथ लता जी ने ही गाए हैं.
Yes.
But then there have been popular songs of Asha ji also.
Yes,
And
very much. In her initial years.
initial years,
Yes.
even when she was singing as a child artist in films like Boot Polish,
Yes.
जहाँ एक तरफ वो
चली
नन्हे
कौन
बुच्चे,
सी
हाँ, उसी
देश।
फिल्म में आप देखिए एक चला कौन सी देश गुजरिया,
Yes.
वो है तलत जी के साथ, और दूसरी तरफ वो गा रही है नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे तेरी मुट्ठी में क्या है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी ऑलरेडी स्पोक अबाउट दैट लास्ट फिल्म सोने की चिड़िया,
Mhm.
जिसमें एक बहुत ही खूबसूरत साहिर साहब का लिखा हुआ गीत, प्यार पर बस तो नहीं है मेरा लेकिन फिर भी तू
Yes.
बता दे कि तुझे प्यार करूं या ना करूं.
Beautiful, beautiful poetry, and this was from his own life. It was a poetry that he'd written for his lover.
Correct.
Um,
Amrita Pritam.
yes, Amrita ji, and it was adapted from that into this song.
Correct.
And it's beautifully picturized over Powai Lake, and he's also looked so beautiful.
Absolutely.
With
और
fantastic
नैयर साहब का
Nutan ji.
म्यूजिक.
Yes,
And
and
Nutan
interestingly,
ji.
when they were making the film, O.P. Nayyar Saab wanted another singer, and Talat Nara put his foot down and said that if I'm acting in the film, it has to be my voice. And it turned out to be such a great partnership that when O.P. Nayyar ji was asked his favorite songs from his own compositions, he put Pyar Par Bas To Nahi Hai at the top spot.
How nice, how nice. And it actually deserves that spot because again I will say इसके दो वर्जन्स हैं, एक आशा जी का भी वर्जन है और तलत जी का वर्जन डेफिनेटली स्टैंड्स आउट ओवर हियर टू. और गज़लों की चर्चा ना हो तो ज़्यादती होगी. तो क्या था तलत साहब का गज़लों के प्रति रुझान, और it is believed that he has inspired so many ghazal singers of future years, including Mehdi Hasan Saab and Jagjeet Singh.
Yes.
So how was he so connected to ghazals
Yeah.
that way?
So ghazals, of course, was his raison d'être, his reason of his whole existence. And ये बात घर से शुरू होती है क्योंकि हमारे घर में जो तलत नाना की फूफी थी, I've mentioned her in the book, Mehlaka Begum, because she played a pivotal role in introducing him to Urdu poetry and ghazal gaiki. She was a very liberated woman of her times, of the 1920s and 1930s, where she was a writer and she refused to wear the burqa. You know, coming from a conservative Muslim family, she was like a firebrand in that sense. एंड उनके घर में, उनके फूफी के घर में गज़ल की बैठक होती थी, जिसमें उस वक्त के टॉप गज़ल सिंगर्स आते थे. बेगम अख्तर जी भी हमारे घर आई थी परफॉर्म करने, और शायरी की बैठक होती थी, बहुत सारे मुशायरे होते थे. सो ही grew up in that atmosphere, and she noticed that, you know, Talat as a young boy is very sensitive and he understands poetry, and he had this little book in which he would write down poetry and understand Urdu literature in that sense. So she had a very important role in making sure that he becomes a singer, where she kept telling his father, who was Mehlika Begum's younger brother, कि अपने लड़के को मौसीकी से अलग मत रखो. He's very special. He has a very deep understanding for his age. He's much beyond his years, and don't stop him from singing. So that, of course, was another whole chapter in his life on how to negotiate with his father and become a singer. But that is where it started from his childhood.
And then it continued with Madan Mohan ji. And
जी बिल्कुल. And went beyond his filmy career. So if his last hit was in the 1960s, commercial hit, and if his last film recording was in the 1980s, but his ghazal career continued late into the 1980s, and then much beyond. He continued with his private non-film ghazal albums. And I would say that he established the commercial value, the music industry of ghazals, which were not part of films, you know, because, and I would say post-independent. Of course,
Right.
pre we had K.L. Saigal Saab. He was he was the giant of them all.
Correct.
And Talat Nana was absolutely, completely idolized him in that sense.
Who did?
Who didn't? Yes. In fact, he met him for the first time in Kolkata, in Calcutta, when he came to record his ghazal. And there's this song from K.L. Saigal, song from My Sister.
Okay.
No? Kya maine kiya tha? And he heard him live. And he said कि जब मैंने साइगल साहब को सुना तो मुझे रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो में, दमदम रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो, तो मुझे लगा कि मेरे ऊपर नूर की बारिश हुई है, मेरे रूफ पे नूर की बारिश. That's how he explained it. But post-independence, it is Talat Mahmood who established our ghazal music industry, who inspired, as you said, Mehdi Hasan Saab and Jagjit Singh Saab, who have in their lifetime also said कि अगर तलत साहब ना होते तो वो खुद जगजीत साहब या मेहदी हसन साहब या पंकज उदास साहब खुद कभी, या तलत अजीज साहब खुद कभी गजल सिंगर ना बनते.
कहते हैं जहानारा फिल्म जब बन रही थी तब मदन मोहन जी उसके कंपोजर थे, एंड द प्रोड्यूसर वांटेड कि इसके गाने सब रफ़ी साहब गाएं, बट बोथ मदन जी एंड हिमसेल्फ रफ़ी साहब सेड कि इन गानों को जो सही जस्टिस तलत जी ही कर पाएंगे.
बिल्कुल. एंड मदन मोहन जी सेड कि ये कंपोज ही तलत की आवाज
को सोच कर किया गया.
और he told the producer that I will pay for the studio for the recording and this is on me, but my songs will not go without Talat's voice.
Right. So तलत जी के कुछ गजल सुने जाएं.
फिर वही शाम दिल को समझाने मेरी याद चली आए, फिर वही शाम.
And he was amongst the pioneering singers जो वर्ल्ड कॉन्सर्ट्स में जाया करते थे ट्रूप्स लेके, और उसके बाद और सिंगर्स को बुलाया जाता था, पर सबसे पहले डिमांड तलत महमूद की हुआ करती थी. सो व्हाट वाज दिस, मतलब कितने कॉन्सर्ट्स होते थे और कैसे ये सिलसिला चालू हुआ?
राइट. आई एम सॉरी, मैं अभी तक उसी गजल पे अटकी हूं.
अच्छा, तो उस पे
उसका जो दूसरा अंतरा है जो मेरे दिल के बहुत ज्यादा करीब है, एंड आई कांट मूव अहेड टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विदाउट मेंशनिंग.
बोलकर ही बढ़िए.
जाने अब तुझसे मुलाकात कभी हो के ना हो, जो अधूरी रही वो बात कभी हो के ना हो। मेरी मंजिल तेरी मंजिल से बिछड़ आई है, फिर वही शाम। So the reason why I mentioned this, thank you so much. मैं जब किताब लिख रही थी तो ये जो शायरी थी, ये stanza, it used to come and haunt me because I was missing him so much and there were so many questions to ask and there was so much to talk. Even though I felt his presence all the time, sometimes I feel that he was like sitting in my head and telling me, "Ke, why don't you go in that direction and speak to that person? He's still alive." I met so many of his colleagues who are 90 years of age and they gave me so many stories, so many exclusive stories, and I used to just all the time think, you know, मेरी मंजिल तेरी मंजिल से बिछड़ आई है, मुलाकात ही नहीं हो पा रही है. So this ghazal in the past few years has become much close to me than it used to be, and for this reason. And
होता है ऐसे गीत होते हैं जिसका कोई एक अंश आपके साथ किस तरह कब जुड़ जाता है
जी.
और ये नज़दीक तो होता ही है और उसके पीछे ये आपकी निजी कहानी होती है.
जी.
हर जन का गाने से जुड़ने का एक अपना निजी कारण होता है.
वाओ, यस. और इस गज़ल में पंडित हरिप्रसाद चौरसिया का भी एक बहुत अहम हिस्सा है. वो उनका डेब्यू सॉन्ग था
फर्स्ट टाइम ही.
और मैं और नहीं बोलूंगी, उसके लिए आप किताब पढ़िएगा. It's very special and he's written that in the foreword. He's mentioned that in the book as well, or what it meant to him to play the bansuri for his first song for the film music industry. But Rohit ji, going back to your question of international
The
tours,
world concerts.
yes. So Talat Nara was the first singer to start world tours from India, the first Indian singer, 1956, when it was a new country and just, you know, barely 10 years after independence of establishing our film industry. And he used to get a lot of letters and he realized that there's a lot of demand for his ghazals and his film songs as well as his non-film ghazals. So he decided to start world tours in 1956. So us waqt East Africa, under the British tha, collectively, the three countries that you had, three countries that were collectively known as East Africa under British. He went there and to perform, and it was kind of, I think they started with just booking 5-6 shows, and they ended up performing for 30 shows.
My God.
Because there was so much demand. And like I said, I had a chance to speak to his colleagues who were still around. So while I was writing the book, उनके जो पहले कॉन्सर्ट मैनेजर थे मिस्टर नंदी दुग्गल, I spoke to him, I met him in Bombay, and he said it was just phenomenal because they were going to Dar es Salaam. Their train was stopped in the middle because people were very annoyed that, you know, जिस शहर में ट्रेन को रोका और आगे नहीं जाने दिया. They said कि आप सारे शहरों में परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं और हमारे शहर में क्यों नहीं है आपकी, you know, itinerary? Why aren't you stopping here to sing? आप अभी उतरिए and then you sing for us. And then they had a local theatre. They were not even auditorium ready. तो लोग घर से कुर्सियाँ उठा के लेके आए to make sure that, you know, everyone attends this impromptu concert.
So I think वो गजल्स की ही डिमांड जो उस समय उनके जो प्राइवेट एल्बम्स और
yes,
निकले थे वहीं
plus
से आ-
filmy as well.
Exactly.
And but I think he ended up making a map, a world map, a route map for his colleagues. क्योंकि उनके जो करीबी दोस्त थे मुकेश जी, लता दीदी, they started the world tours in the same cities where
Okay.
Talat Nana had been. So he kind of ended up making a map, and like he already had a New York agent in the 1960s. So even within America, which cities, which states would like to listen to film music. Beautiful.
सहर जी, बातें तो बहुत सारी हैं, कभी न खत्म होने वाली, और मुझे लगता है अंत में ये पुस्तक को ही पढ़नी पड़ेगी हम सबको और बातें जानने के लिए। पर एक आखिरी बात मैं आपसे ज़रूर पूछना चाहूँगा। तलत जी को पद्म भूषण मिला 1992 में, एंड यू वर अराउंड दैट टाइम, एंड आप मिली भी होंगी उनसे।
Yes.
हाउ वाज दैट फीलिंग? क्या था उसके पीछे? व्हाट मेमोरी डू यू हैव टू शेयर विद अस ऑफ दैट अवार्ड?
So, in 1992, I was in school, and I remember my mom said that Talat Nana is coming to Delhi, and we must meet him, and he's getting an award. And you don't pay much attention to these things when you're in school. So, but the day after that, we went to meet him. He was in fact living close to the Rashtrapati Bhavan at that time, and I remember it being a celebration, and it wasn't like the weight of the award that hit me at that time. Of course, retrospectively thinking while writing the book, I thought more about it, that what a moment that was, But at that time, I was just meeting him, and it was a few days after Eid, and it was like a double celebration of eating mom's sivai and then having a party with him because he's got some award, and but my brother, who was elder to me, 4 years elder, he had stronger memories, and he also shared a lot, which I mentioned in the book then. उस वक्त दूरदर्शन was also celebrating his Padma Bhushan, और उन्होंने रात को 10 बजे फिल्म दिखाई उनकी, सोनी की चिड़िया. And so we sat and watched Soni Ki Chidiya with him. The 1950s में जो shoot हुई, we sat and watched that film with him in 1992. And at that time, he shared a lot, that what the experience was of shooting with Nutan ji, and how he felt that, just watching Balraj Sahni Saab was like a master class in acting. He was one of his favorite actors. So then he was sharing a lot about Soni Ki Chidiya, and I look back and think it was such an honor to have a chance to be with him for that celebration and watch that film with him as well.
Right.
And Padma is always the icing on the cake, or the cherry on the icing on the cake for any artist,
Gee.
So it was very special. I feel I'm just very fortunate. I mean, I didn't work hard to have that experience.
आपकी बातों से
but
मैं
just very fortunate, yeah.
टू कंक्लूड यही कहूँगा कि कई बार जो लोग हमारे आसपास होते हैं, हम उनके अचीवमेंट्स को बहुत अज्यूम कर लेते हैं, बिकॉज वी डोंट गिव देम दैट ट्रू क्रेडिट वैल्यू व्हेन दे आर अराउंड अस, बिकॉज it's very assuming to just say कि अरे वो क्या है, वो तो हमारे घर का ही है, उससे इसके लिए क्या और बधाई या तारीफ देना. बट ये बात उनके जाने के बाद याद आती है.
बिल्कुल. And for my नानी it was very special. जो उनकी बहन थी, जो मेरी नानी थी, उनकी छोटी बहन, she was also in town, and we all of us together met him for his Padma. For both of them as siblings, it was very special, because when he was hiding from his father and recording songs in the radio, she used to kind of cover up for him, for the father, saying कि कहीं और गए हैं, कुछ और करने गए हैं, and also it was like coming full circle, and all that hard work really paying,
मैं भी हूँ अश्क बार जो तू है जिगर फिगार, जाने को है बहार. ये तेरी आरज़ू, ये तेरी आरज़ू कितनी है खूबरू ये तेरी आरज़ू, ख्वाबों में भी जिसे है उसी गुल की जुस्तजू, ख्वाबों में भी जिसे है उसी गुल की जुस्तजू, आँखों में जिसकी बात